All right, let's just jump right in. I want you to think about the very last choice you made. Was it what to wear today, what to have for breakfast, or maybe it was something way bigger? Decision making is this invisible engine that runs our lives, constantly humming in the background. But how does it actually work? And here's the big question: could we be doing it a whole lot better? So get this. In a recent survey, the average American said they make about 70 choices every single day. 70. From the huge life-altering ones to the tiny, mundane ones. That adds up to almost 500 choices a week and over 25,000 choices a year. It's just this constant, nonstop mental workout. So let me ask you, of all the choices you've already made today, how many of them do you feel like you totally nailed? It's a tricky question, right? And to even begin to answer it, we've got to look under the hood and understand the incredible machinery we're working with. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Your brain isn't just some dusty library of memories. No, it's a powerful forecasting machine. It's constantly running these incredible simulations of the future to help you figure out your very next move. And the core mechanic driving this whole thing is something called imagined reward. So whether you're staring down a dozen flavors of ice cream or thinking about a new job, your brain simulates what each outcome will actually feel like. That area right above your eyes, the orbital frontal cortex, it lights up as if you're already tasting that ice cream. And the more accurate that simulation is, the better your decision is going to be. So what this really means is that your brain is a relentless computer. It's taking in evidence from the world, it's checking it against all your past experiences, and it's spitting out an expected value for every single option. Think about playing basketball. Your brain is calculating the value of passing versus shooting based on where the defenders are, what's worked before, and it's doing all of this in a fraction of a second. It's amazing. Okay, so we've got the what, the brain's predicting the future. But what about the how? How does all this weighing and imagining actually take shape among the billions of neurons firing inside our heads? It's time to peek inside the black box. For the longest time, scientists had two competing ideas. The first was the homogeneous model, which basically said that as you get more evidence, a dedicated group of neurons all fire up together, kind of like a dimmer switch getting brighter and brighter. But then there was the heterogeneous model, which suggested something way more dynamic. Different neurons firing at different times, passing information along like a relay race. And it turns out recent research is pointing squarely at the heterogeneous model. So a decision isn't just one light bulb getting brighter. It's this complex, beautiful wave of activity that spreads through your brain's networks, with all these different neurons playing their part at exactly the right moment. Now, you might be thinking, if our brains are so sophisticated, why do we make so many bad decisions? Well, here's the problem. This elegant biological system of ours, it evolved for a much, much simpler world. And today, it is running into some serious glitches. Researcher Sheena Iyengar just nails the core problem here. We love the idea of more choice. We're drawn to it. But the truth is, our brains just can't handle the sheer volume of it. We're not built for it. This comes from Iyengar's now famous jam study. At a grocery store, when a tasting booth had 24 different jams, it attracted a lot of people, but only 3% of them actually bought one. But when they offered only 6 types of jam, 30% of people who stopped by made a purchase. Think about that. They were 10 times more likely to buy jam with fewer options. More isn't just less, it's paralyzing. And this choice overload has 3 really big negative consequences in our lives. First, we procrastinate. We put off saving for retirement or making important health decisions. Second, we actually make worse choices, often just picking the simplest option instead of the best one. And third, even when we finally do choose, we end up less satisfied, kind of haunted by all the other options we didn't pick. And it's not just about having too many options. Another common glitch is simple fatigue. A study on elite college wrestlers found that as they got more and more tired, their decision-making just plummeted. Their brains started prioritizing speed over accuracy, which led to what their coach called dumb mistakes. A tired brain is a fast brain, not a smart one. So overload, fatigue, these are kind of old problems, right? But today, we are facing a brand new and much more subtle saboteur. It's one that promises to help us, but might be quietly undermining our most important skills. Yep, I'm talking about AI. So the key idea here is something called cognitive offloading. It's just the act of handing over your thinking to an outside tool. And look, We've always done this. Writing a grocery list is cognitive offloading, but with AI, we're not just offloading our memory, we're offloading our ability to analyze, to synthesize, even to make judgments.
To see just how normal this is becoming, you've got to hear this. When a professor designed an assignment specifically to be hard for ChatGPT, a student actually complained, saying the professor was interfering with their learning style. The tool has become mistaken for the skill itself. It's wild.
And this points to a really serious long-term risk, a concept called intellectual descaling. Just like a muscle you never use, if we constantly offload our critical thinking, our ability to reason and make smart decisions could just waste away. We risk becoming operators of machines that we don't even understand. Okay, so the challenges are pretty clear. Our brains are overloaded, they're tired, and they're being tempted to just offload all the hard thinking. But listen, we are not helpless here. We can actively upgrade our own mental operating system by changing how we choose. First up, we can manage our external world. 3 key actions. Number 1, cut. Get rid of options you don't need. Procter & Gamble saw their sales jump 10% when they cut their Head & Shoulders line from 26 products down to 15. Number 2, concretize. Make the consequences feel real. We spend 15% more with a credit card because it just doesn't feel like real money. And finally, categorize. Group your options logically. Our brains can handle way more categories than they can raw choices. And second, we can manage our internal world with a new mindset. First principle, be curious. Our mental map of the world gets outdated. You got to stay open to new info that challenges it. Second, connect with others. Social learning is one of the most powerful ways we humans update our understanding of anything. And the third and final principle, slow down. Remember that trade-off between speed and accuracy? When a decision really truly matters, give yourself the time to let the right answer, the signal, rise above all the noise. And all of this brings us to one final, crucial question. As we use these incredibly powerful new tools, we have to constantly ask ourselves, are they helping us think? Or are they thinking for us? And ultimately, who does AI really help? When we become dependent on it, not just for answers, but for the very process of learning itself. That is a choice we are all making every single day.